Hello and welcome back to CrestVahllen D&D, The Baker's Dozen. We have here with us Noelle.
Hi, I'm Noelle and I play Misheni Unkmut, and you know what? Trust me, I'm a doctor. Doctor. Yeah.
Next we have Sean.
Oh my gosh, I have the audio on for the YouTube stream and it's crazy. All right, sorry.
Oh, I do too.
Yes, I'm Sean and I play, it's like suddenly I just heard your voice again. I play Tamron Grounder and I'd be blue if I didn't get to play D&D today.
Oh my god.
I'm out of here.
That's it. And thanks for watching, everybody. It's not going to get any better than that, so you might as well just stop watching now.
Oh, that was embarrassing.
Fantastic. Okay. And then we have Angela.
Hi, I play Nakano.
The camera
Did you hear
sees
that?
the top of your head, not your face. There we go.
Well, because I want to go into the mic.
Well, the mic's going to kick you up.
You don't have to be right here.
Because I'm trying to do an effect, like whispering.
Oh.
Did you hear that?
Is that Nakano second?
That's so stupid. Oh, I love it.
It still works like with Nakano leader one, you know?
Alright, Cam, you gotta top that one.
I don't think I can.
Oh my god. Again, guys, that's it. We might as well stop. We're done. That's it.
Game is over.
All right. Okay, we have Cameron.
Hi, I play Scoop Crinkle, character the Tempest. Your gardens are overgrown, and your cucumbers are soft.
Oh my god.
Okay.
It's
All
from
right.
It's from Ed and Eddie.
Oh, yeah, that's Rolf. That's
yeah.
Rolf, isn't it? Your gardens are overgrown and your cucumbers are soft.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my god. Rolf was like, that's so many choices, Ed boy. I love Rolf. Okay, great. And I'm your not so humble dungeon master, TJ. Welcome. We're gonna have a good time today. Without further ado, let's get into the recap of last session. What do you say, guys?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna pause the music and we're gonna play some nasty stuff. Unfortunately, you guys won't be able to hear it, but I'll hear it. So when I start dancing, you start dancing. That's just how it's gonna work for right now. We're still working on how we're gonna figure that out. So
Don't need music to dance.
no music. Okay. So, as the baker's dozen becomes surrounded by a slew of blossomed reborn dressed in town housekeeper's garments, Jin Fushi is set upon by more, one story up. A scoop calls down a storm of lightning from the rain clouds above, incinerating a few of the plant-like beings and dropping the hold on the reborn assailing Jin. The large tangled mass of vines, flowers, and corpses, formerly known as Autumn Breeze, chokes off the party's exit and slowly approaches the somewhat trapped group of adventurers. However, a quick web-slinging from Nakano stops the corpse flower in its tracks, allowing her time to skitter up the wall and assist Jin. While wild magic imposes its will upon Tamron, transforming him into a potted plant for a brief moment, while Phoenix has a traumatic flashback. Images of her mother drowning in her own blood and her father's callousness push the Aarakocra to the brink of her willpower, as a scene of introspection unfolds in her mind. Shaking the paralyzing feeling off for the moment, she bursts into action to protect herself and her friends. A bread-like spiritual weapon is summoned to protect Jin while lightning bolts streak across the battlefield. Some of the gang succumb to the Slave Blossom's influence as more of the plant-animated humanoids fall by the hands of the intrepid travelers. A scoop strikes Tamron with lightning, while some shots of deadly precision from Nakano causes the combat to come to a close, pinning skulls to the courtyard ground. The party tears bloody tangled masses of roots from Misheni and Hurt's cardiovascular system, relieving them of the Slave Blossom's influence. A scoop sends a message to Zushi and learns that Getsu Roiba is in imminent danger. Having a hurried conversation with Jin Fushi, the gang are made aware of the hidden plot that Autumn Breeze on a chilly night had concocted. Jin Fushi is pregnant with Autumn's child, and that it was planned to have her marry the Zushi, having the scandal of the child not being Getsu's leaked afterward, forcing him to abdicate, leaving a power vacuum that Autumn would eventually occupy. With little time, the band rushes to the aid of the Zushi, dropping off Phoenix, Ahmad Bahati, Jin, and Pebbles in a flowing river at an inn along the way. Bursting into the Zushi's manor, several Red Lion Syndicate members are found dead and rooted, Getsu being assailed by another Blossomed Reborn. Hannah steals her tail from one of the glass displays and transforms into a large, woolly mammoth that squashes some of the threatening plant creatures. The party subdues the rest, and the Zushi is safe for the moment. In thanks, Getsu hands over the book that contains the item, as well as ordains the baker's dozen as minor nobility, bequeathing the defaulted manor of the late Autumn Breeze to their care. Tamron receives a mental message from the Seeker, stating that the Sutomabura is due to arrive in Saivesh within a week's time. Hannah appears conflicted, as the baker's dozen realize that they now have some downtime. Let's get back to the action. Welcome back to CrestVahllen. Yes, perfect. You're right on time. Perfect. Absolutely. You got it. Yeah, it's great. No, keep going. Perfection. Absolute perfection.
Oh, you
Love
should use
guys.
your.
My bells.
Ah, perfect. Yes. Gatorade for the hangover. Yes, let's go. Wonderful. So, welcome back, guys. At the moment, you are still in the Zushi's manor. And you are have received the good news. You see behind you the woolly mammoth reverts its form back into Hannah / Henton Opie. Well, not that any of you, only I believe Misheni knows that Hannah is Henton Opie. She tried to elude and give Nakano a clue of it, but I'm not sure if that actually stuck. But so you see before you the form of Hannah. And the one remaining last line, Red Lion Syndicate member who says, I didn't really want to be part of the Red Lion Syndicate anyway. I'm just going to be part of his like personal entourage if he could hire me. And like Getsu's like, yeah, okay, cool. You did a good job. You guys have some time. What are you guys doing? Of all the information that you've received so far.
It's still the 37th of Hylock, right? So we have to.
I believe so. Let me take a check.
I guess we should still do our performance tonight, right?
Oh yeah.
Right, you still have
every
two more
shoot-
performances coming up. The martial performance and then something else, right?
Oh yes, no.
I
Madame
forgot that we
Crane.
didn't sleep and I deleted all my things.
Everyone is still currently in quarantine, so
Yeah, I mean, that battle that happened at Autumn Breeze's Manor happened in like the mid-morning. Like, it's like probably just noon, like right now.
do you want to search the town or village and see if anyone else is infected? Because Jinfushi, or Tamarin said Jinfushi was at the event yesterday
Mhm.
acting weird, so he could have infected more people.
I mean, I think that's a prudent thing to do. We can certainly take a look around, see if anybody else.
Check out our new digs.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Right. Well, now that it's been weeded, so to speak. Cool. Right, and remind me, is Omad,
Ahmad
Pebbles
Bahati,
and-
Pebbles in a Flowing River, and Phoenix are at the inn that you left them at.
right. So,
I believe you left them
And
at the...
Jinfushi is at the inn too.
Jinfushi is also there, that's correct. I believe the name of the inn that you left them at was... Let me check my notes here.
I mean, they only know the one in Barrel Monkeys.
No, that was the one by the docks. This was not
okay.
the that.
The
This
new
was
one.
not that one. This was, I believe, the son of a gun. Yeah. Gun is those of you who speak Adronki. Who speaks Adronki? Macheni and Nakano. Oh, and
me.
and
Yeah.
Tamron. I'll speak Adronki. Adronki is the gun is the Adronki word for prince. So like the son of a goon or son of a gun, depending on who's reading it and whether who's like what culture you're coming from. So like the son of a prince is actually what the name of it. But it's also-
Clever.
yeah.
All my little clever stuff.
Also, before we go, I wanted to ask Getsu. As you know, the manor is not in great shape right now, and we would like to, start fixing it up. Who do we speak to about like contracting?
Oh yes, there are numerous amounts of shipwrights that also double as architects. They have built most of the surrounding buildings, especially in the market quarter and the docks. So I'm sure you'll be able to. I believe we talked about a stipend for repairs as well. Mostly it was a stipend for you becoming minor nobility, or at least whatever that I can grant you with. It is my pleasure to do so, given what all you have done for us, or for me, I should say. And
For us.
you get a one-time grant from the government or me. I see your Kenran ears are out and showing.
Yep.
It's your spirit animal. So I believe a stipend of 500 gold should cover most repairs or whatever it is you need to acquire for your manor, and the one-time grant, of course.
Do you know
Thank you.
why that manor is in shambles?
It is honestly the first I am hearing of it.
Well, I don't think Autumn Breeze has been himself for who knows how long he's been infected for.
Oh, he was perfectly fine at the manor party, but
No, there's something going on. I thought he was just weird being around common people or something. I just thought maybe that's the way he was, but to be honest, he seemed off.
what, he was off during the party.
Oh, during the party, I see. Oh, right, you're right. No, during the performance, he seemed a little off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, what's this toffee?
I don't know.
I mean, we can always go to the inn and ask Jin Fushi. Or the tavern, sorry. The son of John.
Right. See if she knew where he was the last few days, that kind of thing. Since she was his ward and lived in his estate,
That's a good idea. That might be a good thread to pull.
Mm-hmm.
You see that Getsu Roiba, again, a scoop, you notice he goes back into that same kind of like hidden alcove behind the bookcase, a little like a panic room area where he grabs yet another pouch of monies and hands you guys over a pouch of 100 platinum. Or I'm sorry, 50 platinum, which is 500 gold.
Nice.
This is your grant and stipend for becoming. As far as the office does not exist for the minor nobility that you are saying, but I am the Zushi, so I can create an office. I will workshop names for such an office.
How about Town Heroes?
It's a little on the nose.
And just to make sure, because I have in the notes that he had given us 1,000 gold pieces
Yeah.
last time as thanks, or at least 100 platinum as thanks. Is this
Yes, this is an
Also-
addition to
is an
that.
addition to
this,
that?
This is an
Okay.
addition to that.
wow.
So this is an addition to that. This is
1,800.
your royal stipend, as it were, or nobility stipend, because basically how this actually, Cameron, you're familiar with this because you gave a whole lecture on the hierarchy of the how the dynasty works in the government. The because the government here, especially in the Northern Dynasty, is ruled by the nobility. So you have the dynast, who then has a bunch of like Zushis below him and other people that work with him, and then the monies from the coffer that goes to the dynast, then it gets divvied up and some of it's sent as to the Zushi in order to the Zushis for certain like mayoral towns, and then that gets split up among, he takes a big chunk of it, and then that gets split up among some of the other nobility that the Zushi reigns over in that area. So you are essentially considered, at least by him, minor nobility, and you have a governmental right to this money. So the stipend that he gave you, which is 500 gold, is what you guys get. 100 gold per noble, and since Phoenix is part of that, and the 100 platinum that he gave you, the 1,000 gold, was just his personal thanks, because he kind of already did hire you to do a job, but this is your bonus because not only did you, well, you didn't really finish the job, but you just saved his life and uncovered a big conspiracy, which is huge. So he has he dug into his own personal stash to pay you for that. Because he also, he's not dumb. He knows that adventurers, can be strapped for cash at some point. So he understands how this works.
Thank you. Very nice.
Very generous.
Yeah. And I suppose we can ask more of the dock masters and such, but as now that if we have some sort of title here, is there like particular docks? Do we have different types of fees for our ships and things, or?
As far as that is concerned, you'll most likely have to talk to Baikem Manong. She is the mistress of the docks. She owns everything there. Granted that now you are technically her peer, I assume those conversations will go easier.
Wonderful. Okay.
Hopefully not as long either this time.
Yes, there is an important, as messed up as some of these governmental bodies are, there is an important architecture of compartmentalization. Each of the nobles is usually responsible for their own section or branch of something. When Bikems is making sure that the fees and dock fees and that will make it back into the coffers of the town, and then eventually make it to the dynast. So that's one of our greatest incomes. So she really knows what she's doing. I only have
Fantastic.
certain control over exactly what it is that she does, but she mostly has her own autonomous business.
Since this is Scoop's first time actually being in a study, can you just tell me what what items are actually in the cases around?
Oh, yes. Sure. Yes. So there is an empty case. There's two empty cases because one, the book was just lifted from. One, the tail was just lifted from. There's also what looks like just a leg prosthetic, just like some. Like it's old. It's like made of stitched cotton. It looks kind of like a peg leg just sitting there. There is a cudgel, just a wooden cudgel, just looks very normal, old, no big deal. There is also a lotus. It's this beautiful aureate lotus. It is like gilded in gold. That is standing upon there under the glass. And there is also a lute, or I'm sorry, not a lute, a lyre, that appears to be made of like brass, copper with gold filigree. The tuning pegs themselves look to be made of some sort of like sapphire, recessed sapphire. It's beautiful.
The Scoop kind of just like points. Why do you have the lotus? I mean, well, he's kind of like gathered like, oh, he likes shiny things too from her. Like, oh yeah, this is his type of. I guess it's kind of the reason why he likes. Yeah.
That is one of the plunders of my youth.
Is it magical?
Of course, everything here is magical.
What does that dirty old leg do?
That is... It's a bit of a long story, but that dirty old leg, Ramsey, that, buddy, that dirty old leg has what some would call a curse attached to it. But it does allow those who wear it to walk upon the seas as though it were earth.
Oh, that's cool.
That's neat.
Do you know what the curse is?
I have not tried it on, but legend speaks of that those hear the voices of the deeps calling to them at all times, and they want to get deeper and deeper into the sea, even though the leg does not allow them to, so they eventually drown themselves, laying face down on the surface of the water.
Doesn't seem worth it.
So it makes your whole body stay on the surface of water and just not your legs? Or your...
Yes.
Oh, that's...
It's like, essentially, it's a permanent spell, like water walk spell. But it makes you want to go down in the water, so you like, it's a struggle, so you actually lay face down on the surface of the water with your nose and your face in the water, drowning yourself.
What if you do this other way around?
Not all of the items I have here are positive. There are some here that I keep to protect and make sure that they do not get into the wrong hands.
Is the lotus positive then? Or is it cursed as well?
I guess the lotus is most definitely positive. So.
Would you like to make a trade real quick? Or for a different...
Before we speak of any more trading, seeing as if I'm just giving you 1,500 gold pieces, you still have a job to finish for me.
I know. Magic item for magic item. To extend...
Well, you just gave us that book.
Let's not talk about any bargaining until you finish the job that I gave.
Yes.
Right. Of course. I'll turn to Hannah and just thank you. Thank you for doing that. And
she's got this like cantankerous scowl on her. It's hard to define, but she just like, and she just kind of like looks at you and looks at you, and she gives you a nod, but you can tell that she's not fully committed to the nod.
it's like a polite nod.
It's a polite nod. She doesn't like being in this situation, for sure. And the fact that like she basically just had to reclaim a part of her own body from a dude who was collecting it, like she's not in the best of moods.
Right.
I'm intimidated by Hannah.
Hannah's powerful. You do see like she's not really making too much of an effort to hide her 9 tails that come out from her back as much anymore, as they're, rather than being tucked under her long skirt, are kind of like up and flared and just kind of like flowing, almost like they're suspended in water behind her a little bit. They're large. They're like 4 feet long. Like large white foxtails, like silvery white foxtails. You can see like when she gets addressed by you, they kind of like do that thing where the dog tails, they kind of go up a little bit and they curl, kind of just like, and her hackles go up a little bit. She's actually, roll an insight check for me, a Scoop.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. So not only do you sense her unease and frustration. 28.
Yes. Okay.
So again, not only do you sense her unease and frustration, you also sense her anxious impatience. Almost like she's waiting for you guys to leave so she can have a private conversation with the Zushi.
It's gonna be an
Everyone, I
awkward
think we should.
conversation.
What I mean by everyone is everyone. We should go. You too, Hannah. I think
I still have
can-
a few other things to attend to here.
like what?
Yes, of course. We will be on our way now. Bye. Just gonna start dipping out of there. Backing
Scoop,
away.
do you stay?
I kind of have to. Yeah. We're also his guards now too. So
Well, no, not really.
unless Azushi wants us to leave, then
Well, let's see. He looks at Hannah, like you can see that like kind of like look of like pity and apologetic, and then he looks at you and just kind of gives you a nod. Of like this is something I knew I had to deal with at some point.
at some point, okay. We'll just clean up the, I guess, burn the rest of the dead bodies.
You guys
because
drag
so
the
much-
bodies outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time to have a bonfire.
Easily
Ugh.
done. Yeah, you can throw them in the back and have a bonfire.
Roast some marshmallows.
Roast
Oh,
some
God.
marshmallows.
Woo.
Great. Where are you guys headed then?
Back
As
to the old manor.
you close like the large door to the study, you can just see Hannah staring daggers into the back of the Zushi, her brow furrowed. And Zushi, the small bead of sweat starts to fall down from his forehead.
It's gonna be an awkward conversation.
Yeah. Should we should somebody try to eavesdrop or anything like that? Do we feel like he's gonna be okay, or do you want
He
the?
wants me to.
Might not
I'm
be
just
a bad idea.
yeah.
I love how the cleric is the one eavesdropping, not the rogue.
So you could just go up on the ceiling and be a literal fly on the wall.
I could.
A spider on the wall. Or wall spider, as it were.
I feel like that I would. Unless like there's a.
Well, you're cutting in and out. I can't
Yeah,
hear
you're
you.
cutting in and out. You have to turn the sensitivity down probably on your Discord.
Yeah, we did that so that it wouldn't pick me up.
Yeah, I did that.
Oh, okay. And yeah, I guess you just gotta speak up then.
I could go closer, but you're gonna see my forehead.
No, just speak up.
Actually, just playing into her character, she does whispers, right? So-
me.
Oh, that was louder than all the other talking.
What would you guys? Do you guys want to eavesdrop? What is it? You want to, or you
Yeah.
guys peace?
I mean,
I think it would
we-
be a good idea.
eavesdrop. I am.
Okay, so the door is closed by the one living Red Line Syndicate member, and he stands outside of the door. So how would you like to go about this, other than just like being, excuse me, sir, could you move aside while I put my ear up against this door?
I mean, he's quite hurt, isn't he? Like his liver's coming out. Can't Machete
are
like
you-
work on?
His liver is coming
It's
out.
like- is this normal?
I did do surgery on one of them.
Yeah, but that's to that's
Maybe
to,
someone could distract.
yeah, is this guard hurt or no?
because we didn't fully patch him up. We just kind of revived him, and he's like, "Oh, thank you. I'm gonna
yeah, no,
go
he's bloody. He's hurt. He's not looking great, but he's not gonna not do his job.
Maybe we can fix him up as part of distracting him.
Okay. How do you go about doing that?
Hey, you want us to tend to some of your wounds there? We're pretty good at it.
So I hold up my scalpel and surgical and the sutures,
Maybe some
Maybe.
salves and ointments. Maybe we can something a little
and
more soothing.
and I'll be the one listening in because I still have the wisdom or enhanced ability still up.
Okay. Great. Enhance. When did you cast enhance ability?
I think when I was working or ripping out Machete's Sakura petals.
Okay.
flowers.
I'd say you're on the
Right.
tail end of that right now.
Yeah, I figure. Yeah.
Okay, Tamron, please roll a persuasion check to see if you can get this guy to succumm to surgery or
Looks like your
submit
liver
to
is
surgery.
coming out. Maybe we can poke it back in. What am I rolling? Persuasion? you
Yeah,
said?
persuasion.
Oh man. Oh, well.
I always
Tamron.
forget about like rolling until I have to do my first one.
Like, oh, I forgot I had dice. I forgot this game revolves around dice. I love this chesticle view. This is my favorite view.
What would the eavesdropping be?
15.
I'll let you know if you're even capable of doing that yet. We won't get there until this is done. I'm sorry, what'd you get?
15.
15. He looks down as where he's like holding his side, and he moves his hand, and his liver indeed falls into his palm, and he's like, "Oh, would you look at that?" He's like, "Yeah, I guess I could use a little patching up. Doesn't feel great. I think I'm in shock."
Seems like that would be a pretty easy persuasion check.
Yep. All right. You want me to just stand here while you knit me?
Actually, it'd be better if just because to make sure you're not moving. How about you lie down over here? Just.
Oh, you just lie down on the
this
table?
table.
Yeah, he just shoves one of the breads away and just lies down on the table.
It's respectful.
It's okay, Scoop. We'll get more replacements. A
Gets
man's
the
life
bread
is in
all
nature.
bloody with liver juice.
Okay.
Cool. So I'll.
Ramsey in the background, so cute. He's just like,
He wants-
what are you doing?
Staring at Angela.
What is that? What is your purpose? His eyes are this dark as the abyss. You stare long enough into his face, you just become one with the universe.
Having
He's like, this bitch. Hello.
he like
He wants to go on your lap, I think.
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Okay, cool. So this guy lies down on the table, puts the bread aside. He's like, should I put my hand there, or should I hold your hand, or should I try to shove it in there, or...
Probably not good to hold my hand while I'm
Right.
doing
That was
stuff.
dumb.
Why don't you just, you know what? Why don't you use your hands? It's gonna hurt a little bit. Why don't you bite down on this napkin here and you hold it like that, okay?
He starts
Nice.
chewing in the napkin.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. I just
It
start.
is a starchy.
They've okay. Well, maybe they need to use a little less starch in pressing their linens. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll mention it.
All right. I
This
start
character
having-
sounds like Noel Fielding, the British comedian.
Apparently all my Cockney accents sound like Noel Fielding. No, it's more like, this is... I can do other Cockney accents. Okay, cool. Great, so he's away from the door. Who / how many of you are attempting to eavesdrop, and how are you going about it?
I'm not.
I can.
I'll just kind of stand in between the guard and the door, just to make sure he doesn't see or something.
Be
I don't
like
know.
a body barrier?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sorry, Kana, what did you say you were doing?
I want to help. I don't know how yet. I have a picture.
Yeah, you keep cutting it.
We have to turn the sensitivity back up. Yeah, hold on.
All right.
You got it. Other way.
That way.
Yeah, if it goes left.
A little bit more to the right,
Oh no.
so that it doesn't pick my voice up.
Yeah,
more
it's picking,
Now?
yeah, it's
A
picking
little
it
bit more. A little bit more. That should be good.
Literally moved like a little bit.
Yeah. Just needs a
Yeah.
little touches.
Yeah, because I can
Okay.
still hear Sean, but it's okay. It's not too bad.
All right. So yeah, I'll help a Scoop eavesdrop.
You can also, if you want to try, turn noise suppression on. Sometimes that helps eliminate the background voices.
I could.
See, this might be alright.
Okay. So how are you helping a scoop? And a scoop, what is it that you're doing?
Is there like a way? Is it like dim? Shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
What you gonna do? What you gonna do now? What you gonna do, boy?
I don't know how is it? Thick doors, like big thick doors.
Yeah, it's a big, heavy wooden door. It's one of those big, like.
Do you have any
What-
cups?
Do you want me to climb on your shoulders and peek?
What? She,
On your shoulders.
I don't know.
I realize that eternal credit to James. I can't believe neither Angela or I caught this, but you can see Nakano's photo up there right now on her stat block, and she has 8 spidery limbs on the photo, but she in the game she only has 4 or 5 spidery limbs coming out of her back. So we'll get that fixed. But yeah.
Wait, what?
You can't see it, it's on my OBS.
oh my gosh, 22.
I see 8 spider legs.
Yeah. Nakano doesn't have 8 spider legs. She has 4.
Mm.
She has she has a total of 8 limbs, including her arms and legs.
I
So
understand.
I want to make a clarification. I rolled a 4 on my max or my HP, not a 5. I was doing too many things at once.
Okay, cool. Yeah, everybody got
yeah.
their hit point rolls. I believe we rolled it last time, right?
We did,
Yeah.
but then
Oh,
it would
Tamara
be.
got like a 2, didn't you?
So yeah.
Oh, buddy.
But then it would still be not effective until we take a long rest. Correct.
That's true. None of this is into effect until you take a long rest.
Is there like any kind of thin surrounding?
So the wall is
Area?
recessed into a doorway, a stone doorway, and this stone doorway then gets wider on each of the sides, and then fades into a bunch of like shelves. So the door is the thinnest spot between the 2 rooms. However, the ceiling in the grand hall that you're in, like the banquet hall that you're now in, is vaulted. And there are buttresses up on top of the area where there could be like rafters that don't have walls that fully block off certain areas to the other room. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I guess Nakano will be. Nakano, can you bring me up onto the ceiling area, maybe?
How?
Tamarin tries to block
Just
the body by like
Harry?
leaning over the dude. Don't look at the ceiling. Don't look at the ceiling. I know you're on your back right now, but don't look at the ceiling.
How you doing there, buddy? Doing good?
It's so
Sure.
dizzy.
Here, how about this? You know what would help is like a nice warm washcloth on your over your face, over your eyes. That would feel nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, sure. Roll a persuasion check real quick. It's not hard.
How?
17.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, sure. You got a hot washcloth. I love that.
Well, I'll just
You know,
can
this
I
is
use
like the best.
prestidigitation for that?
Yeah, you can like warm up. You can because
Yeah.
you can wet something and you can warm it up. Yeah, absolutely. That's fine. You just pull out like a hanky from your pocket and just plop it in his eye. You're like, wow, this is like some really first class treatment. I never, not even my mother treated me this good.
Spa day.
Spa day. Great. So he's essentially blinded.
Okay, Nakano,
All
bring
right.
me up. Bring me up.
Okay, a scoop is heavy. Please roll an athletics check.
Oh, great. I'm gonna drop it.
He's also wearing all of his armor.
I can roll the 1.
A nat one.
no,
So what's the total of
drop
that?
him on the dude.
What's the total of that?
1.
Oh, no. Okay, so you do get him off the ground, and you get about like halfway up the wall before like he just completely slips out of your grasp, bangs into the bangs into the chandelier. A bunch of candles fall to the ground around the dude who's getting surgery on, falls like on like the collarbone area of the dude while she's doing surgery on him.
Oh my god.
Okay, so
He's dead.
Guys.
Great.
a scoop. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall
Jesus Christ.
on top of this dude. Nakano, you're just like whoops.
Woo.
I'm gonna roll a death saving throw for this guy. Okay, he's okay. He is fully unconscious now. He's got bruising. His neck is nearly
that worked out
broken.
good.
He's fully unconscious. He is not dead, but he is bleeding out now. Because all the stitches that you just did, Macheni, have been torn out.
Guys,
I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
pause. Give me that napkin. Got it. I'm gonna
And
try
he's
to.
just like,
Right.
So now it's dim light, right? The room, since.
oh my god, no!
No.
It is during the
Hold
day.
on.
There are windows.
Oh, there window.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I spend some hit dice? This reminded me that my health is dangerously low.
Well, this it hasn't quite been long enough for a short rest because a short rest is an hour long.
Okay.
But if you want to chill here for an hour while she's doing surgery and not do anything else, yes, you can do that.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
You want to try it again, Nakano?
Yeah,
I'll give
why
you
not?
guidance this time.
It's
Okay.
like, yeah, why not? Let's go again.
Can you guys
Almost
do it,
killed
like,
a dude.
further-
That's fine.
You go further over
I'm,
there.
I'm ready. Hold on. Red.
Okay, roll this time. Roll an athletics check with disadvantage because you're trying the same check twice.
Oh, disadvantage?
Why don't you just go up there and
Okay, I'll go up. Yeah.
why do we?
that's fine.
No.
Maybe, yeah.
Why doesn't Nakano go up and eavesdrop? Why are we trying to carry you up?
Oh, I hear Sean a lot through Angela's mic.
I got effort for disadvantage. I got 19.
Why? No.
I swear.
You got a 20 and a
20.
19?
I mean, we'll make it work now.
Wow. So, Nakano goes like,
You also have guidance.
and she,
Doesn't really need it though.
yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter at this point. You go like this, you go, and then you just like reach under a Scoop's armpits and just go, he's like, well, hey! And you just skitter him up the wall. And you just kind of hold him there like a ragdoll puppet as he's hanging over in the rafters. So you can see over in that area because the walls only go up to a certain point before the raft gives way to the rafters, which is kind of like a little bit of an open area because there's no such thing as like ventilation in these old buildings. So the walls only go up so far until the rafters have spots for the air to circulate throughout the building. What would be a second floor in some parts of the manor, it just counts as a vaulted ceiling in the banquet hall, and the study also has vaulted ceilings. So some areas like the ceiling then gets lowered and there's a second floor above it. But for these two areas, they go all the way up to the roof and then through the rafters. So you can get up to that part. It's a little rickety up here. This thing hasn't been maintained in a little bit, but I mean, you're lucky if you get work on it every couple of years or so. But with your spidery limbs, no big deal. You are able to bring yourself up there as you kind of like hold a Scoop in kind of like a papoose manner up with you. I mean, he's your little baby. And although he's taller than you, so it's like really weird that his feet dangle. And
Touch your hair. Yes.
and you guys reach the top of the wall and you kind of like hang upside down on the top of the rafters. And so Nakano, you're like this up on the wall, right? And you're holding a Scoop, and a Scoop is just kind of like folded over you with his feet hanging down one side of your rib cage. And both of you see a rather intense discourse happening between the Zushi and Hannah. Could both of you please roll perception checks for me?
Hi, Nakano.
Okay.
That's cocked.
20.
Dirty
Total.
20.
Wow, both of you got 20s. Okay, so the Zushi looks a little panicked. He is backed up into a corner of one of the rooms between a book, where one of the bookcase walls meets one of the stone walls. It looks like he's backed himself up into there because she hasn't moved from the spot that she was in. She has pivoted, but she hasn't moved. She has been pivoted to face him, but she hasn't moved. There are 2 glass cases between him and like pedestals with glass cases on top between him and her, as she's more than not in like the center of the study, and he's off in like the northeastern section of the study, as he's kind of like looks like he's meandered around. It's kind of like backed himself up into a corner. He has his hand on one of the bookcases to kind of like stabilize himself, and you hear the following conversation. She's like, "Did you know what it was before you paid for it, before you acquired it?" And he's like, "I did." "Did you know whose it was?" "I didn't care enough to find out." "Did you know what it meant?" "I do now." "Do you know? Have you heard tales of us before? Do you know what we do to those who cross us?" You see him breathe in and shakily exhale. "I have heard stories as a child. So you know that I am honor bound. Blood for blood." "I do. And I will not plead for my life. But I will ask you one thing. If I am not here to care for these people in the way that I have been, will you?" And there's a long pause. And both you, Scoop and Nakano, can hear the sweat of Zushi's face drip off his chin and patter onto the floor of the stonework. Then you hear a snarlless exhale from Hannah as her tails kind of flare out and then recoil and coil in on themselves and pull them close to her and kind of like wrap her around in her silvery fur. "By right, your life is forfeit to mine. I will make good on this debt. Of that you can be certain." You see him nod, and with the weakest vocal, like just creeping out of his mouth, he says, "Of that I have no doubt." Her tails then swoosh around her as she turns into an eagle and soars out the window. And you see the Zushi drop to his hands and knees. And as he does drop into his hands and knees, his hand slips on the bookcase that he was stabling himself on. And with the bookcase, one of the books that moves makes a click, and the bookcase quickly turns around as he falls on his hands and knees. And it's a trick bookcase, and on the other side is a wall of which are mounted like holders for certain accoutrements. And these accoutrements look like long metal barrels with triggers and stocks attached to them and pistons. These look, you've never seen something like this before. It looks like a long metal barrel with some sort of like action on it that has a stock that you like hold like this. Looks like some sort of, it looks like a crossbow without the bow part.
Well, what could it be?
And there's 3 of them of all different designs hanging up on the wall there. He eventually picks himself. Don't do that. He eventually picks himself back up, pulls a handkerchief from his cloak and dabs his forehead. Rests one of his hands on the barrels of this what looks to be possible weapon, and then triggers something, and the bookcase turns back around before he exits to the far realm of the study further into his manor, walking in a very trepidatious manner.
Yes, we get down.
We should probably.
Yep, you skitter back down and let your baby go and put him lightly on the floor.
I'm just not lightly putting it down. I just drop it.
You just straight up drop him from the ceiling?
No, when I'm on the ground. When I'm on the ground.
Oh, when you're like 5 feet off the ground, you're just like, I'm done holding you. Great.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't let go.
Mama.
That's awful. So that was great.
Mother, why? Great. So you drop him onto the ground and you skitter yourself down there. While this is happening, Macheni, please roll surgery checks for me.
With guidance, if you want.
You can't do guidance while you're up on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Can I be the nurse here and help out?
I thought you were taking a rest.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, you're taking a rest, boy. So you're just sitting, taking a breather while this. You're like the dad outside the maternity ward.
Can I at least
Cigars.
Can you pass me that napkin over there? Tammy, come on. Please.
Tosses it to you.
Okay, cool.
It's chewing on the bread, the bloody bread.
I mean, liver, bread, I guess it makes sense. It's a nice, amuse-bouche.
Cool
if you will.
pate.
Yeah. Okay, so that's for medicine a 21.
21. You do a really good job. Over the course of the next hour, you stitch him up. You notice that his liver had gotten twisted and superimposed to the point where the tubes attaching to it had been things. So you flip it back over, then reinsert it, and then stitch him up.
It was a little bit more invasive than I had originally intended.
Yeah. I mean, you're pretty good at this point. You can use you have prestidigitation. What do you have? Druidcraft?
Druidcraft.
Yeah, so you can use Druidcraft to kind of extend your fingers a little bit to make them be a little bit more fine things with little vines. You have little vines grow on the tips of your fingers so that it's because you know how in some non-invasive surgery they do a slit and then they send this long probe thing. You kind of do that with your Druidcraft. You just send a little vine in there to have you readjust things down into people.
It's salad fingers.
Yeah, kind of salad fingers is, but it's not the whole finger. It's just the little tiny vine that grows into somebody that moves some stuff and then comes back out.
Right.
It's like those little claw hand things, where you press the little thing and it goes and it grabs something.
Yeah.
They do that in surgery, non-invasive surgery, at least from what I remember.
Yep.
So yeah, you kind of do that, and he looks. You've done all you can for this guy. He's just unconscious because he's probably got a concussion from a scoop falling on him. But he's gonna be okay. He just needs time to rest.
I'll take.
He's gonna be super bruised though.
If there's a cold cut on the table, I'll just pop it on top of his forehead.
Sure, you pop a cold cut that's been sitting there for about an hour on top of his head.
There. That'll help with the bruising and.
Yeah, no longer a cold cut. It's more like a warm cut.
Oh.
All right.
Can he prestidigitize it so it's cold?
If
Oh,
he's not taking a rest.
yeah.
I'm not gonna not take my long rest so that I can make a piece
Short
of cold
rest.
cut cold.
It's the
Are you
best
sure?
excuse. You're like, sorry guys, I have to interrupt my rest because I have to make this cold cut cold. It's very important.
So silly. Okay. Well, thanks for the napkin toss.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so that
I mean,
was
I'm
fun.
not doing very well either, to be honest. I'm still at 6 hit points.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we need to.
Not great.
I put a cold cut on you too.
A healing cold cut.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you just cast Cure Wounds by passing out cold cuts. It's okay. I'll just put that on your wound. Your like rib is showing. Put a cold cut on it.
Exactly.
Your alternate title should be the Sandwich Squad.
The sandwich squad.
Mm. I like it. All right. So, what did you guys hear? I couldn't hear anything.
The sandwich
while I was
band.
talking.
Bandwich.
We
Sorry,
heard
go ahead.
threats to the Yuzushi, blood for blood. Hannah kind of forgave him for this moment. And as soon as Hannah disappeared, the Zushi panicked and pressed on a secret door that had a lot of weird devices that we haven't seen before, or I assume you guys haven't either when you were down the first time.
Wonderful role.
What do they?
Wonderful.
What do they look like?
Yeah.
Maybe I have seen something like this before.
They look like a barrel-shaped crossbows. Right.
So kind of like our cannons, but mini.
Mini cannons.
Mini cannon?
Mini
You guys have seen things like this before. Remember, the Sutomabura crew had
Oh yeah.
firearms.
What do they call
Oh,
those?
okay.
Thunderstick.
They had pistols,
That's right.
So this
but
one
these
was
were
like
not
a
pistols.
They're like rifles.
Oh, they
then,
weren't.
right?
These were long-barreled.
So they're like long pistols.
Long
You,
pistols.
you know the weapon the guy shot himself with. It's a longer
Yeah.
version of that.
That's
on
cool.
Sutomabura.
Oh,
I wonder what the
Oh.
benefits of that would be.
I mean, it's got to have some benefits, right?
Yeah.
Or how long he's had it.
Longer is. It's got to be.
So size does matter.
Angela's losing it.
Maybe it has to do with some
He's like,
accuracy. I
it
don't know.
do.
But does color matter?
Hey, Mr. Bluebick. Okay. Yeah. Stack shows up. Hey, Mr. Bluebick.
I don't... Sorry, I'm losing it too.
We got fun here, guys.
Okay, so, do we? No, we shouldn't take anything from the Zushi. That'd be a terrible idea, especially since he just gave us a.
He just gave us a bunch of really valuable things.
In the house.
Right,
And a house.
right.
And
And the
nobility.
thing, and the thing that we asked for,
A title. And you haven't done your job yet.
we haven't done our job.
I mean, he
Yeah.
wouldn't be here if we
He saved
didn't
his
do our
life.
job. If we weren't off lollygagging.
True.
Oh, it's Trisha. It's Trishan.
But yeah, I feel like we should push our luck.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, well, let's, I'm gonna run through town and see if anyone's acting weird. Anyone else want to join me?
Yeah. Do a sweep.
Sure.
You're sleeping.
I'm good. Sounds good.
No, like the surgery
He's
took an
just-
hour.
he's-
The
Oh,
surgery
okay,
took an
okay.
hour,
Okay,
so
some dice.
yes, now you can spend some dice.
I have a question. If I spend, if I spend, 3 hit dice right now, will I get 3 back tomorrow, or will I still just get the 2?
So you are you're not level 6 yet, but you will. The instance of you gaining the level will happen simultaneously at your long rest for when you regain your hit dice. So yes, it will be half of your hit dice. So you will gain 3 hit dice this next coming long rest. So yes, this is a extraneous circumstance where you don't usually know that you're leveling up, but you guys are
Right.
having downtime and you guys did some cool shit, so made sense.
But also, spending hit dice in itself is already kind of a meta thing, right?
Correct, but it pretty much role plays into how much time and how much like of your like medical equipment do you want to spend patching yourself up during like a short rest.
Right.
It's also represents like your body's innate ability to react and mend itself with the use of that medical equipment. At least that's the way I think about it. For example, if you take a bunch of injuries in quick succession, it takes your body longer to heal, which is why your hit dice only get replenished halfway every time. Because eventually you're going to need to sleep for like 8 hours. Your body needs that. And like, I don't know, it's like, proven fact medically. Like when you don't take rest for a long period of time, your body stops healing itself. It's like really, really bad at it. You need to rest. So yeah, that's where that comes from.
Okie
He might need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, Betty.
He's been staring at us for a little while. I'm just gonna take him up to the roof real quick to pee.
Okay, cool. So just before you do that, just tell me where it is you guys are headed.
We're just doing a sweep of the town, right? Just to make sure nobody's infected.
Right.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool. That's gonna take a while. You might not be able to get that done in a single day, because it's a port town. It's like a decently large town.
yes.
Are you intending to like inspect every individual that lives here?
No.
Let's go to Jinfushi and see where Autumn's been.
Agreed. Let's do that'll
That's a
give us
good
a
call. Yeah. And we can check those areas.
Okay. Yeah. You guys are you're essentially just trying to keep an eye out and see if you see any odd like Sakura-like behavior.
And going to Jinfushi to ask where
Of course,
Autumn
like
has
on
been
your
the
way
last couple
to the
days.
son of a gun is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Cool.
Right. But also then going to check the places that Autumn has been to see if there's any.
Oh, I
outbreaks
understand. Right. You
where
want to
he's
see.
been.
You want to check his vector points.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Contact tracing.
Yeah, contact tracing. You're gonna contact it. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be in the world alive in the world of COVID. So yes, you are essentially contact tracing Autumn. Okay, great. So you guys leave the manor and how do you leave this Red Line Syndicate member that is unconscious, patched up? You just leave him on the table to be found that way. Cool.
Well, maybe prop him up against the door.
Okay, so if somebody opens the door, he falls and breaks his stitches
next
open.
to the door. Next to the door.
Okay.
Should we get another like guard on our way out and be like, hey,
There
wait,
are other Ryomi about the manor, but
Some were actually following us to the mansion because we alerted them. Like, hey, when we started saying,
yeah,
hey,
they eventually
quarantine,
like
blah,
said
blah.
fuck
Yeah.
it. Like, once you got to the manor,
Oh, they
they were
did?
like, yeah,
Oh,
because there
okay.
are other Ryomi there, and they were just like, whatever. Or no,
Right.
because remember you noticed there was none there.
Right.
The only Ryomi that you have seen so far have been the ones at the gates.
Do we get this guy's name, by the way?
You did not, but he's unconscious.
Does he have a wallet?
What is your name?
Does he have a wallet? No, I don't think they have IDs.
Does he
at
have
this
his
period
name
of
on
time.
his bounty pouch that we can take?
No.
Can we rob him?
You can look in his underwear to see if he names his underwear.
Yes.
It just
Yes.
says Monday. Or I'm sorry, it says Gondar on it. Sorry.
do you think maybe on our way out we could at least be like, hey, we patched this guy up, but he's unconscious. Just want can you keep an eye on
You
him?
look to the
as-
Ryomi,
as-
he's like, all right.
Thanks, and of course protect the Zushi too, because he was
Right.
in that room. But just keep an eye out.
He just gives you a 1,000-yard stare.
Good.
All right, he's fine. Just keep walking.
Yeah, he wasn't kidding about how bad these guys are. That's why he hired extra
Yeah.
help.
Whew. But at least maybe he won't die. I feel confident in my sutures. At least that part I know will be okay, as long as he's not like lobbed across the room. You know.
You can see like this guy is giving you 1,000-yard stare while the other Ryomi is like talking to him without looking at him, and he's like, dude, they don't tell you this, but the bunnies in the market, the live pigeons and bunnies that are just roaming around, they're free. You can take as many of them as you want. Like the big dynasty doesn't want you to know this, but they're free. He's just like spouting conspiracy theories over like to this guy that's not paying attention.
Are they? Do they see the
Are they
unconscious?
free? This is great.
I'm sorry, what was your question?
Do they see the unconscious former Red Lions?
You have only seen 2 Ryomi the entire time you've been here. Well, actually, you didn't see any coming in, but you exiting now. There's just 2 at the gate to the entrance of the grounds of the manor. That's where they are. They're all the way out of the building and past the grounds and there.
Do they look strange, like jaggedy at all?
Roll a.
Do I still have my ability up, or is
it's
this
gone.
like?
No,
Okay.
because short rest happened. It's gone.
Oh, okay.
So I would say roll an insight check.
Can
I'm
I
just gonna
too
leave
just-
it. Yeah. 26.
26. This looks like their state 0, their default state. They're just not the brightest bulb.
Okay.
Or they're not just not the sharpest tools in the shed, unfortunately.
But what if the rabbits weren't free, but the bread was free?
Do you know where I can get free bread?
No. I feel like
Dude,
it's
if you know where I can get free bread, you by law have to like tell me because I'm like the law.
sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I just have a
What were
staring
we
contest
talking
with him.
about?
Just make sure that guy on the table over there doesn't die or doesn't get stabbed by anybody else. He's gonna
Do
be
they
a
smell
little.
like weed?
Do they smell like weed? Roll a perception check.
Why are you gonna keep rolling for this shit? 18.
18. They don't smell like any particular substance or another. They don't smell like alcohol. They don't smell like any drugs or anything like that. This is just who they are as people. They're just
I was just
a
joking
little
around,
dim.
you know?
These stars are a little dim.
Poor buddies.
Oh, okay. I guess we go. No, so. I mean, it's not hard to hear you through battle. Talking to the Kano.
Yeah. Does that
I am the perspective one, I should say.
all right.
Sorry about
Well, if you
that.
could-
Had a little hiccup moment where we stopped. But now we're back.
Well, did you shout it, or did you like talk it, or did you whisper it?
I just spoke it, but not very loud because I'm paranoid of Hannah.
Yes, yeah, I figured.
But I know that you can read lips, but I don't know, just based on some of seeing what you've done in the past. But I don't know if you like had line of sight on me or anything during that time. So, DM, we're
That's
talking
all-
about with
Yeah.
the point in time when I mentioned, Hinton's a foxy lady, and I tried alluding to it in the battle.
You're trying to
but
roll a posthumous insight check on that. Is that what I'm understanding here?
or feature
Oh no,
Steven.
would I just hear it like while in battle, because she kind of said it, but like I was still within range, and I could
No,
read
you
lips.
were on the second floor.
I was on the second floor.
Yeah, you were
That was a-
upstairs.
Oh no, I was still on the bottom of the stairs.
You were?
It was the
Yeah.
beginning of the battle that I said it too.
Oh, okay. Let me double check something real quick.
Is it like a area speech or something?
No, it's just
Plus, I kind of trust your word when you said you were going to, track Hannah,
Yeah.
Henton, and you never said anything. And then the next day, Hannah was staring daggers at you as when we went into resurrect or whatever, restore hurt.
Right. Yeah. No, that was very uncomfortable. Yeah. I'm sure you picked up on my body language too, with my tail between my legs and stuff as well. So.
one moment while we reconnect. Okay, sorry about that. We're back. No, we're not. Okay, sorry about that. We're back.
Yep.
Don't know what's going on, guys. Sometimes the ISP just doesn't want to work some days.
I'm recording, don't worry.
Great. So roll an insight check with disadvantage, please.
23. 15 and a natural 20.
What's your insight? Plus 8?
8.
You heard it. You heard it. You think that Hannah, you think that Macheni said that Hannah is a foxy lady. What you read into it is entirely up to you.
What is happening?
Granted, you have no basis for comparison or nothing to compare. You don't know what that
Yeah,
means.
yeah.
So, like you, the whole. I don't think you were even there for the conversation about the whole Kitsune deal. Anyway,
I was.
who's
I
the one
was
that
the one
told you
asked.
about? Oh, okay,
A pebble.
right.
And before I went to chase Hannah, or before I went to chase Henton down, the scoop was the one that I talked to, saying, "Hey, I just need to."
And then the
keep
next
an eye.
day, Hannah's staring daggers at Hannah, or Machete. Too many names getting tossed around.
It's entirely up to you.
Oh, boy. Okay.
I just had a thought, by the way.
Yes.
So if I were trying to spread a plant disease around in our nobility, I think an easy way to do that would be to like give these plants as gifts. Do you think he would like
Ooh.
go around giving these plants as gifts to people?
I don't think they're very smart off the bat. They tried to with that goblin we met in Shilong, but that was person to person. I generally don't
Well,
think
I'm
they're
saying it seems like somebody is behind this, right?
Oh, yes, of course.
Possibly Autumn. Or maybe somebody gave it to Autumn as a gift. Was the entire greenhouse overrun?
Well,
Well, you guys haven't been back to the manor since then.
yeah.
And I burned down the greenhouse.
You just burned it down.
You
Mhm.
sent a flaming
There are
arrow
probably all
into the
sorts of
greenhouse.
cool rare
and then you
plants in there
left.
too.
So you guys will have to revisit the manor to see what the aftermath.
Everything's burned down.
Well, there goes our manor.
Well, we can make new land.
You get a plot of land. That's true.
William. Okay.
But that's
Let's
what I
go see
like good
Jin
point.
Fushi, though. Sorry.
No. That's all I was saying. That's a good point, Danny. It's could at least see if they've gotten any recent flower baskets from nobility,
Mhm.
from Autumn Breeze.
Okay, so you guys are headed through town on the way to the Son of a Gun. Please do me a favor. All of you can roll perception checks as you're going through here, because I believe you mentioned that you are doing your best to see if you spot any signs of possible slave blossom influence on any of the individuals.
Looking for like the same
21.
kind of weird jerky motions that
twitchy.
Autumn.
jerky, yep.
yeah.
And you said perception.
Yes, please and thank you.
Oh, 21.
15.
Nat 20 for
11.
Nice.
23.
23. Okay, a scoop. You notice or actually two particular individuals that appear to be down a side alley. They do appear to have twitchy movements, and they rouse quite a bit of suspicion from you. You're about halfway on the way. You're moving through, kind of like skirting the edge between the market square and the poor quarter.
Is it twitchy or jerk? It's same motion, right?
It's hard to tell.
You do drugs.
Macheni, you see that, but you also see some sort of pouch being passed between the two of them.
Arcane.
Is it yeah, does it look like a similar pouch to the arcane that Phoenix
Just
ingested?
looks like a pouch, just general pouch.
Okay.
Hey, what drugs are you guys doing over there?
Why aren't you in quarantine?
Right. I mean, it looks like drugs. I don't think that the plants have been spreading their pollen like that. I mean, that would be an extra level of sophistication and stuff. But
Unless somebody's been cutting drugs with pollen.
I mean,
You guys broke the
He's like,
conspiracy wide open.
we cracked it.
Cracked it.
Gotta get
Got
that
him.
free rabbit.
right.
That's it. There's my campaign. That's the campaign, guys. Thanks for watching.
Guys, what if there's flour in the bread shop?
The flower and
Those
the
are
flower.
the same words.
That's funny.
I don't you say that.
Cameron, those are the same words. Those are homonyms.
Okay. Well,
I was
maybe,
going to get flour today too.
I know. All right, maybe we can do like a test. Just on the flour.
Just a little taste.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
This is like on the same day, guys, that you guys ate a bunch of bread from that place already.
Oh yeah.
You guys visited there this morning and got like baguettes and Italian breads and artisanal like
Arepas.
arepas. Yeah, you got a bunch of stuff.
All right.
Maybe we stick to the arepas because they're corn based.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
not a homonym. All right, so we can only eat foods that aren't homonyms.
What the fuck is happening?
Yes. Start
I'm a
just thinking
special
about
class of
this.
hero. I don't eat things that rhyme or sound same.
I start making the list so that I never pick that up again for the logs for being quartermaster and whatnot. So
Never
we're-
pick up homophonic foods
right.
in succession.
Seeds.
So no oranges either.
No, I think
Because they don't rhyme with anything?
No, because orange is also a color.
But then we're gonna get scurvy.
I
Do you want to
mean,
eat
there's a bunch of
limes?
colors that are named after real things. Like grape is a color. Like fucking
Yeah.
You mean purple?
well, grapes are several different colors. Sean is so mad. He's furious.
Can I say that we're having this conversation as we continue? Our,
Absolutely,
Topic?
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So you guys eventually just be like, okay, they're just doing drugs, no big deal. And you move along, eventually finding your way to the son of a gun or son of a goon, depending on what it is that you're, what your dialect is. This is a very as you enter, you realize that this is a quite fancy inn. And you're realizing that the patrons here are mostly the wealthy and like nobles and high society. As you move through, and as adventurers, and just fighting. You have some bloodstains on your clothes, so there's like you don't look the best right now. You're not dressed to your nine, so you do catch the eyes of quite a few of these individuals as you walk through the doors, and it's like one walking into a saloon and a bunch of people stop and stare at you like, what the fuck?
I do have a lot of blood, some spit on my whole arm, you know.
Yep.
I tip my hat.
You don't look the best. You see, as you make your way a little bit through in there, there is there's a human that comes up to you, like non-binary, no specific gender, and they are just like, oh, hello, lovelies. Can I help you? Are you in the right place?
Yeah, so I run official business. Sorry, we don't quite look.
Yes, I
right,
understand.
but-
It's official business. Yeah, and that official. Who happens to be that said official?
Oh, the Zushi.
Oh, he's taken a liking to. I understand. Yes. Unfortunately, we do have quite a bit of a strict dress code here. You'll have to come back when you've adhered to such dress code. If you do you catch my drift?
I do, but we're just here to talk to somebody real quick, and then we'll be out of here. We're not here to
Wonderful.
stay.
Yes, I love talking, but I also prefer talking when we're not bloody. You know, it's
Yes,
understanding.
but do you
it's
see
very
these
disruptive for the
bloodstains?
rest of the patrons.
Do you see these bloodstains, though? They're very recent, and the situation is ongoing. So
And
obviously,
it could happen to
time
you.
is of the essence here.
I would love to not have that situation in this situation, if you understand.
Can you could you instead go get the people that we want to talk to and bring them just outside really quickly? We can have a nice conversation outside. That way we don't disrupt your ambiance.
Sure. Go ahead and roll persuasion. Tamara, go ahead and roll a persuasion check. I'll consider that Macheni aiding you, and so you can roll at an advantage.
Thank you.
$16.
Yes, of course. I might be able to accommodate you. I understand you're doing some official business. Yes. So, sweet lovelies, could you just wait to the side, past the barrier, and what's the name of your party?
The baker's dozen.
So I'm looking for the baker's dozen here.
Is
is anybody?
who you're looking for? Sorry, no. We're looking for Jin Fushi and
Pebbles, Ahmad.
and Pebbles
Yes,
and
and
Ahmad.
what's your relation?
They're part of our crew.
Right. All right. I will relay your message. If you could just do me a favor and just stay right here, not bother any of the patrons, that'd be wonderful. I would love to have you back. You all look like beautiful, wonderful people. I'd love to have you back when you're fresh and clean. But as a moment, you could just. It's a little disturbing to the rest of the patrons. You know, we try to keep it pretty blue chip here. So thank you. I'll be back in a moment. My friend Taryn will help you if you need anything. Taryn. Yes, a washcloth and some water. Yes, thank you.
Just see if he's actually going to do that. Go get the table.
You want to
Insight?
insight check him? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
Well, I assume you would just because he wants us out of there.
I got 11.
11. Very hard to read. They appear to be, they at least are extruding the air of the proprietor of this establishment, and they're very good at what they do. They also appear to be extruding this air of, hey, a lot of important and rich people come here. It's my job to make sure they don't get harassed. It's just like, this is a private club. Like, what are you doing here? That kind of feeling.
But we're important and rich.
They don't know that.
Wait, did it hurt Ahmad, a Pebble, and Jinfushi all come from a rainy scene also?
Yes, but
So they should
Jin
be drenched.
Fushi is known to be a noble or a
Oh,
lord
okay.
of the noble in the court. So anybody that she wants to bring in, it's like being a member of the Soho House, right? You get a certain amount of guests, and she's like, they're part of my party. They'll let them in. And she's like, oh yes, we'll get you some towels. Don't worry about it. Yes, of course. We'll put you up in the suite upstairs, like that kind of thing. It's different. You're an unknown entity to this individual. You have a few moments as they leave. Terran, this male goblin dressed in a tux suit, comes up to you and goes like,
Hello. I was sent to wash you up and make sure that you don't have blood all over your face. Could you lean down, please? I'm vertically challenged.
We can do that to ourselves, but sure.
It's my job. I have one thing to do here. It's to wash the faces of those that appear. So if you could just lean down, that'd be very helpful.
Okay.
Wonderful, wonderful. And he just like very gently blots your face and starts pulling off some of the crust, and up to a few of you starts like adding a little bit of concealer. We'll just hide that scar there.
This is great. This feels amazing.
Just that work with the fur.
It's better than the cleaning cube.
Oh yes, we actually have some specifically for our third individuals. I've been doing these plugs I'm working on. We can just add a few plugs here. It's a little painful, but essentially, if you take the time,
What about scales?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I'll get the paints.
I mean, you can just buff it out.
Oh yes, of course. I will get the buffer as well.
So like if you want, he can like add hair plugs into your scar tissue so that you don't have scars on your face anymore. He's like really good at this. This is what he does. He pretty much just he's a cosmetic surgeon pretty much, and then has been reduced to like a doorman.
That's cool,
But he's just this
Like yes, of course.
and so you're there with him for a little bit. He looks up at Nakano while he's working on like painting and buffing Tamrin. He's like,
It's fashion, right? The extra bit,
Extra bit.
Oh, what happened?
don't get me wrong, I love it. It's so fashion. It's so fashion.
Doesn't it kind of here?
yeah, he's talking directly at you, to you. Like he's asking about like, oh,
Yo, it's fashion. I love it. It's so fashion.
Thank you. I didn't have to try.
They all say that. They say I woke up this way. I woke up like this.
Literally. Well,
Do you want them painted?
no.
Like the tips painted, like fingernails?
Sorry, Mike. I just had a like electric shock
I
where
think that's a little.
my entire computer shut down for half a second.
All right. I honestly, there's nothing I could do to make this any better. It's what's wonderful. I love what you're doing. You've got it together. I will be pulling some of the blood off of your face, however. So if you could please just lean down. Wonderful, thank you. Thank you. You're gorgeous. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
He is the best looking one in the group, I think.
Yeah.
Then a scoop, he comes to you and he's like,
Why do you smell like yeast?
Well, like a lot of bread.
We don't allow outside food in the establishment.
I mean,
You'll have to-
okay.
you can put it.
Do you see me going out inside? Sorry, I didn't mean to raise my voice there for like a half second, but
Yeah, you don't want to come between
So
him
if
and
you
his
could just calm
bread.
down, please. Your voice is disturbing the patrons.
You don't want to ask him to check his bread. Like it's
Yeah.
not. It's
there's nothing in the
Or
bread.
is it like a religion thing?
yeah, I think so
seems
at
to
this
be.
point.
guys, roll a persuasion check. Everybody roll a persuasion check for that.
For what though?
To convince him that bread is part of his religion. Like it's like a Mandalorian convincing somebody that weapons are part of the religion. You know?
Natural 20.
Yo! Oh! Cameron's like, so how do you go about this? How do you do this? Because this is perfect.
I explained the cult of the beast.
So you go into some like pantheon, cult of the beast, like conspiracy stuff, perfection.
Yeah.
It was like, so you're telling me that this is the beast of Shiloh?
Yes, it is.
Wonderful.
The very same.
It's always great to meet the legend. He's a little shorter than I expected, but you know, never meet your heroes. Wonderful. They say that you eat those. You grind the bones of your enemies into bread. Is that true?
If you want to find out, take his bread.
Shudder and quiver with fear. I wasn't this afraid since
If you want a little extra
Pebbles
flavor,
decided he wanted to do a
some-
show in on the stage.
if you want a little extra flavor, I put some blood on the bread too.
No, I'm not sure you're entirely understanding what this is all here for. I'm here to remove blood from it.
And it'll be on bread eventually. That blood.
No, please don't do that. At least you can do whatever you want, just not here. Wonderful. Great.
Then he comes over to Machete. He's like,
Yes. Would you like plugs?
I kind of like the scars. You
Well,
know.
wonderful. Yes, of course. We'll just get some mats.
and he like kind of like puts some moose in his hands and like,
Let's just put that and we'll judge this area. And we'll come out. Yes, get the lint brush. Yes, wonderful. We'll just make sure you're not shedding everywhere. Wonderful. Yeah.
Oh,
You look
shed.
so much better. Yeah. Oh, yes. Look, I love this split. One color on one side, one color. It's so fashion. I love it. Yeah. Did you dye that yourself?
No, I was born this way, you know.
Again, they always say that.
Machete's trying to bite her tongue so hard right now. It's
Wonderful.
not like this frou-frou-y, like pampering stuff.
I would say that you're well enough. Unfortunately,
a scoop because you're not wearing anything but your armor, right? Like you're not wearing.
Yeah.
Machete has like decently nice like clothes. Just even her regular like armor clothes, it still look like fancy. Tamarin's got that cool coat. He looks really nice. Nakano has her just own aesthetic that just kind of fits. She looks like that's that hot emo like edge thing that's like into it with like the cloak and whole thing. A scoop is just straight up. I'm wearing my armor.
he's like, we have a rental blazer if you'd like to. Just in case, we keep one here just in case. I think I have one your size.
Comes back with this like tall blazer. It's actually a little big on you. It goes like up to the palm of your hands as far as the sleeves, and it goes down to like a little down to your thigh. So you're kind of swimming in it.
If you could wear that, that'd be appreciated.
I mean, I'll just stay outside.
All right.
Right. Okay.
It's up to you. You do what you like.
I mean, well, our party's going to come to us, not we're not going to the party.
The human individual comes down the stairs. Looks like they nod at the goblin. The goblin's like,
Yes, your party is waiting for you. I will escort you.
What?
And you're like, come with me, not you.
and he points to you, a scoop.
Okay, thank you.
And you get like kind of escorted along an edge that is there's like think of it kind of like a jazz club where the middle portion of the tavern or inn is like recessed and in like down a little bit, and there are like partial balconies that are kind of like up just a few steps that kind of perimeter it, and on the left side that go once you follow the balcony all the way, there's a stairwell that goes up to the next floor, which then has another balcony that goes out, and then doors to rooms along its periphery. That makes sense?
Yep.
Cool. Macheni, Tamrin, and Nakano, you are led by this goblin individual to this human individual who, and then he does a nice deep bow and puts his hand out. The goblin does. Amazing.
To whom? Sorry.
Just to your group in general.
Oh.
As he's handing you off to the human.
Oh.
I understand. Tip him a silver piece.
How generous. And he kind of slinks away.
I don't really know what is generous in this world. Like, I don't understand money. Like, I don't know how much. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just guessing randomly.
Is that what you want?
Well, it depends on the location.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
guess
no,
so,
he
but,
gets
like,
that.
what-
It's just
Like,
Tamrin
what
doesn't.
is what is like the dollar amount of like a silver
Yeah,
piece?
Sean
you know, and,
gets it. Tamrin doesn't.
No, I don't really.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like this. So this is a highfalutin, like high class establishment. So with people that have money to burn. So it's like different. I mean, you just kind of have to read the room, really.
A platinum should be.
But like a normal worker.
Salary worker for something like a lower working class individual, like lower middle class individual, makes about like 2 gold a month.
Oh, so a silver is a pretty good tip.
Depends on, but since we're
Depends
here with all
on
these
your surroundings
fancy pants people.
who have thousands of gold.
Yeah, but it barely did anything though. It just like brought us to a place.
He patched us up and
just-
cleaned you
He
off.
patched and
Oh,
cleaned
that
you up.
guy. Oh, it's that
That's
guy.
the goblin. Yeah, the goblin
Oh,
had his
I'm
hand out.
sorry. I misunderstood.
You still gave him a silver, so
I'll give him 3 silvers.
He's like very generous, and you're like, oh, sorry, 1 minute. And you put like, wonderful, and he just slinks off. You get escorted up the stairs. You go like, oh, by the way, lovelies, I'm Melu Gunyan. It's wonderful to meet you. Yes, Jin said that you were that she was expecting you. I'll bring you to one of the suites. It looks like that Goblin, our friend, Goblin friend, his name is Goblin the Goblin. He's a very very sweet individual. We don't say the Goblin. You can just call him Goblin. He's very very sweet. Looks like he took good care of you as he's kind of like walking the stairs. Just a couple rules that I have to let you know. Your weapons will stay sheathed the entire time while you're here. That's very important. If you get into a bar brawl, you will be put straight to jail. That's how it works. Please don't fight here. Any behavior that's not fitting of your station will be viewed as rules for expulsion. But however, this is just to keep our patrons safe. And now that you are considered one of our patrons, you have now been offered the security of this place as well. What that means is that we will do everything in our power to make you comfortable, to keep you safe, and make sure you're not bothered by the rabble. However, it's really important to us. It means the world to me individually that you have the best time you could possibly have while you're here. You need to feel free. You need to feel comfortable. You need to feel like you. It's very, very important. So, if anything you need, you just let me know. You can ring one of the little sleigh bells by one of the doors. We'll have an attendant get to you as soon as possible. We have hot baths, we have massages, we have charcuterie boards, we have cheese plates, we have wonderful anything you could think of. We can acquire for you, including some minor magical effects if it is it's your purview. We also offer certain services, including pleasurable experiences. There is one makes into town ever so often that insists that they take a bath fully made of bourbon. That is entirely optional. If you decide that you would like to take a bath in nothing made of except for liquor, we can provide the olives free of charge.
Steak.
Uh, Also, we also were running the special this week. If you decide to take a gold bath as well, that's interested. We can exchange all of your cash that you have on you, or some of your estates, into a gold liquidation. Actually, of course, not molten gold, just gold, and you can swim very Scrooge McDuck style in your gold. We do offer that as well. We have a special chamber specifically made for that. Coffee is complimentary, of course, as is most of the amenities here. If you require room service, again, just please ring the bell. Is there any questions? Any certain amenities or requests that I can get to you before we open this door, or that I can bring to you? You hungry? Anything?
I think I'm good right now, but maybe I'll take one of those baths later. That sounds nice.
Wonderful. We'll have a large baths ready for you. Would you prefer hot, piping hot, or scalding skin?
Piping hot, I think sounds nice.
Piping hot, yes, wonderful, very popular option. Wonderful. How many bath maidens would you prefer?
Bath maidens.
Yes, of course. Of any choice that you'd like, any gender, race.
I think I just maybe just a little me time would be nice. So maybe
Of course,
just
of course. Yes, they'll just help you disrobe and scrub bits that are hard to reach sometimes. Nothing untoward, I assure you, unless you specifically request it.
No, I can clean myself.
Oh, wonderful, man of the people. You love to see it. Great. Is there anything? Should I prepare a bath for each of you?
I think for me, given what we are going to do later for our performance, it might be better for me to keep that appearance. I don't know about you guys, but
Oh, I understand. Rustic for looks. Totally understand. I can't tell you how many people. There was this whole fad a few months ago where everybody came in dirty, thinking it was like the in thing. You have any idea how many times I had to sweep and brush the floors? It was exhausting.
Oh, so they came in actually dirty. That's
Yes,
funny.
but it's like they bought their dirt. It was so strange. They bought buckets of dirt to then like be put on them like makeup. It was sad. I'm so glad that's done. You have any idea? We have their own regular dust bowl within our establishment.
That sounds rough.
Yes, it was great. It was Pigpen all over again. Yes, of course. Absolutely. You're so fashion. I love this purple. It's wonderful. It's really working for you. Do you dye your hair, or does that grow naturally?
I don't do anything.
Oh, you have any idea how many times I've heard I wake up like this? Of course, darling, of course. So lovely. I don't know if you've ever had it before, but like I can see just by looking at you that you're holding a lot of tension in your horns. We do have a specialist of your race and persuasion that has specifically studied the art of horn massage. They will help you release all of that tension that you're holding in that area. If you'd like me to book you, I can book you for an appointment.
That sounds lovely.
Great. I'll have them come by your room later this evening. They're extremely professional. They're wonderful human being. They also do great conversation, I have to say. I don't specifically have horns myself, but they have done me, and let me tell you, transcendent, I have to say. Will your manservant be joining you, or is he just going to wait with the cart?
I mean, at this point, if we're gonna be here for a little bit, guys, maybe we should try to convince the Scoop.
Just put on a jacket.
Right, to just put the
Yeah.
jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. That's where we have the rental blazer. You know, it does happen. Some people are very attached to their employees. I understand.
Maybe, if you want, since I won't, again, to keep the aesthetic up, I won't need the extra services. Maybe I can go back down and talk to him and try to convince him to put the blazer on.
Of course, of course. Now that Jin Fushi has called for you, I've free range at the establishment. You know, just be couth. That's all I ask. And most importantly, please enjoy yourself. It's very important for you to be comfortable with who you are here.
Thank you. That's nice.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. You know, unless it violates the dress code, of course.
Yeah, I figured.
Granted, the dress code is kind of an amoebic form. It does change throughout the months, depending on the current fads.
Maybe Bloodstains will be in next month, you know?
Right. Maybe we could be the
I'm
trendsetter.
here for it. You called it. I'll place a bet on it. I bet you it probably will. Now that you've walked in, and everybody looks at you, now everybody's like, oh shit, adventurers, they have bloodstains on them. But we should have bloodstains. And then there'll be this whole thing. There'll be this new post on the bulletin board of how to make fake blood in order to stain your clothes with it. Oh. It's beyond me why these people even care. Like, just be yourself, be comfortable. But they make money and they help me make money, and that helps me make people comfortable. So I have to bite my tongue. But anyway, we're here. Again, if anything, please ring the sleigh bell. If you'd like, I can walk you down, or you can find your own way. As he talks to you, Michelle.
Either way, if you're going that way, great. I can find my own way there.
I'm on my way to start drinking. It's day cocktail time. It's 1 p.m. It's time to start. It's cocktail hour. Would you like a martini? Care to join me?
I'm okay.
You know
with
what? I'll take a gin blossom martini, if you will.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
A woman of class, I see. Great. We'll swoop by the bar on the way to and I'll drop you off at the entrance.
All right. Perfect.
You see them go snap in different weird snaps, and you see down at the bar there's a half orcish individual that just nods and just starts making two very intricate drinks. One with each hand as it starts shaking. Appears they have an unspoken language of just snaps and looks and glances. This place is a well-oiled machine. Great. So you follow the individual down to the bar. Well, the door opens. You see this beautiful, lavish bed chambre, where you have these 4-post bed vaulted with veils across it, all of it with silk tapestries everywhere. There's ottomans that are made of red velvet and mahogany and wood and there's a roll top desk in the corner. There's a fireplace in this room with a bearskin rug hanging below it. There is a deerskin tapestry on the wall that appears to be burned in the form of what looks like a heroic individual proclaiming some victory over a beast whose face is large, lots of teeth, but in this intricate kind of beautiful fashion, not scary, but wow, awe-inspiring, and a long a body of which there are 8 small short limbs attached to it. And it has it's in that very medieval type of flat stance where it's hard to, there's no perspective, so you just, and there's this lance that's just piercing its form, and it's this dramatic death scene. And you see Jin Fushi there, with Hurt and Pebbles. It looks like Pebbles and Hurt are playing with the war fans, and Hurt is having the time of her life. Well, Jin is with. Oh, who else was there? Phoenix. Yeah, Jin is with Phoenix. They're both sitting on the floor by the fireplace next to the fire, and they appear to just be having a little chat. As every once in a while they like chuckle among each other themselves. The door opens. They all turn to see you as Hurt slips and falls on her back and starts chuckling to herself. And Pebbles is like, "That's why you gotta put your back leg like right in front of your front leg, or like so you don't trip." It's like, "Oh, hey guys." Hurt's like, "Oh, hey." And Jin just over there just waves. "Well, come in. It's nice and warm in here." I'm sorry, that's not her voice. Her voice is, "All right, well, come in. It's nice and warm in here."
Hey, so we had some questions about Autumn that are kind of urgent.
Oh, right. That makes a lot of sense. Why don't you close the door behind you?
Yeah.
Great. So Nakano and Tamarin enter. Masheni, you are down at the bar. You get this beautiful, like flowered martini that has a gorgeous, what looks like what is it called? Like a flower paradise. But it's made out of. It looks like a faux flower. It's a flower that's made out of shavings from a taro root. Like shavings were made to make it look like a flower, and it's in the martini itself. And he's like, "I hope you enjoy it, lovely. I'll see you later. Do take care not to get too sloppy, but actually, who am I kidding? Get as sloppy as you want. It's your life. It's your place." Give it one more second. It's gonna do
There.
its thing where it's gonna stop and then start again.
We can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And you're
Discord's
moving back
gonna
and
like
forth?
stop.
I'm not sure. Can you
start
hear
again.
us?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Great.
Didn't do it that time.
Oh, it didn't do that time.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, and they go like, enjoy, and they float away.
Thank you. You too. Cheers.
And they get about like 3 or 4 steps away before they like stop mid like saunter and then turn around just on their heels. "I wonder if you could answer me like one question there, lovely.
Sure. What's
Is your friend with the horns involved?"
not that I'm aware of. Any reason in particular, or just asking?
You know, sometimes feeding fancy, can't help myself.
I mean, that you would have to ask her a little bit more, but
I intend to, but I just thought I might get a little bit more of a insider's perspective before. You know what her type is?
she's actually pretty quiet. So I don't exactly know what her type is,
Oh,
unfortunately.
she's one of those strong, silent types, yeah?
Right, and kind of like she's when she does talk though.
So hot right now.
I mean, yeah, you do you, boo. I mean, I think go top, go up. You never know, right? So, but when she does talk, it is a little bit scary. I will give you that. I will give you that little inside tip. But if you're into that,
I'm very much. I'm.
time.
I'm becoming more and more into it, the more and more you describe it. Although, me being the proprietor of this establishment, I don't want to put her in an awkward position of me being her superior and that type of thing.
I mean, I don't. Please don't take this the wrong way. I do not see her as being one to care about that kind of judgment. So.
I love that. Devil may care attitude, a little creepy, super fashion, hot as the purple flames of my heart. Yes, I think this could work.
She is going to do a incredible show tomorrow night, probably. Her stage name is Madame Crane.
A burlesque?
No, not the burlesque. Although that's a fun idea. But no, it's a tarot reading, that kind of. So.
Is she a woman of the stars and of fortunes?
I think you have to talk to her about that.
You are really chatting up your friends. Becoming enamored. Oh, I must leave before I begin to faint. There. Oh no. A single bead of sweat that hasn't happened in 3 years. Excuse me. I must now go take a full bath and redo my makeup.
All right.
Please enjoy. I'll take one more for the rope. Thank you. And they just kind of float off. Great. Where do you head now, Machete?
I take the martini, take a drink of it as I stare. Just, I don't know if you heard it or not, but as I stare at the flower, just like a little mad at it, even though it's a beautiful, artistically made flower.
It's not even a real flower. It's like
right. Take a drink and then go outside. A scoop. We're gonna be here for a little bit. Just put on a rental jacket, man.
What do you mean a little bit?
What?
What do you mean a little bit? These flowers are contagious.
I know, but okay.
We're here to make sure everyone's okay. Do you not know what's going on in Shalong? Let alone what the Seeker said? They said that Shalong's almost taken over by these flowers.
I mean, I get it. I take the flower out of my drink and just chuck it across the.
It sticks to the wall.
But like, and then I'll slam it. Okay, I get it. Look, I'll come with you outside. The others, they need some time. It's a very nice place, but we did get to chat with Jin Fushi, so come inside. Come on, we got to go find out more information. Just put on the rental jacket for like 5 minutes while we're there, and then you and I will go out hunting for flowers, okay?
5 minutes, no more.
Fine, that works. All right.
You throw on the rental jacket, the rental blazer. Yes.
All right, they're up here. I'm bringing him up to the room that we were shown to before.
You open the door as you guys are, and Machete and a Scoop enter a moment later.
I will just saddle up to Nakano and say, somebody might have a thing for you. I was chatting you up, but not too much. That's all. Their name is Meilu Gunyan. Yeah.
Meilu
Gunyan. You know, the proprietor. He was all worried about, is he going to be above status of you? And like,
they're like dressed in this. They have like beautiful gold filigree like hanging off of like dangly bits off this like green, gorgeous, kind of like cloth wrap that only covers like half of the chest, as the other chest is bare on the shoulder, and it goes down to like a wrap that goes into these kind of like harem pants style. With these curled shoes and beautiful jewelry, great makeup, very nonchalant about it.
Yeah, I mean, they were into you. Just giving you a heads up. Either way, have fun. That's all I'm saying. But either way.
Kind of afraid.
Nakano is afraid.
But you're like a scary one, you know? Like,
Yeah, that's true. I'm scarier.
Yeah, yeah. Don't let his don't let their I don't know the shoes or just don't worry about it. Whatever.
I think I
They
can
seem
handle it.
Right. So you wanted to talk about Autumn? Yeah. Yeah. It's nasty business. It was really unfortunate. I was in love with him. I guess I still am.
Yeah.
He was, but he changed. He was different.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
How long
Yeah.
ago did he change, do you think?
Oh, I mean, it was pretty drastic. It was pretty quick. But there was signs. I probably should have seen the signs. The
Don't blame yourself.
No, you're right. It was not my fault. Not my fault. You're right. I shouldn't blame myself. But there was signs. But it wasn't me. My responsibility to make sure that he was a good person. It was his.
Right.
But I felt like at one point he was, and then I fell in love with him. We were gonna have a child together, and then he concocted this plan about like, oh, if you have this baby out of wedlock, and you do this scandal, that we can be together and we can have power, and I was just like, oh, okay, it sounds like a great idea, and then like started to turn into something a little different, and as the proximity to power and that promise of power started to grow ever closer, he kind of like fell into this whole. It felt like he was like blackmailing me too. Like, hey, if you don't do this, I'll just stop being your warden. You have to like take care of your child yourself, and it was just like, oh, it became love turned to threats over the course of a couple months. It wasn't great, but what happened there? That happened quick. That was just one time where he was supposed to meet with somebody for some deal for something. I don't really know the specifics or something. And he came back and he didn't feel well. He didn't like it. He didn't feel well, and everything. It's about a week ago. The same thing started to happen to pretty much everybody else in the manor. All those staff, and they started acting like twitchy and weird, and some of them were better hiding it than others. And I thought that maybe he was on drugs and he got the rest of the staff hooked or something. But turns out that he ended up being a lot different.
How did you just stay away from him that whole time, like the last week?
Oh no, we've been around each other.
Okay.
I thought he was acting weird, but nothing. I feel fine.
Do you mind if I examine you and I put
No,
my?
of course. I do. I will say. He's hasn't been touchy-feely lately. Almost like he was going out of his way to make sure that he wasn't physically involved anymore. Granted, I can't say that with his behavior over the past few months that I really wanted that kind of thing from him. But
What's wrong with your manor? Why is it in shambles?
oh well, I mean, the estate's been. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to try to get up on the hierarchy and get power, because the estate's been not in great standing. The coffers have been running low, so we spent or at least he spent what he could to make the the front end look decent for heirs.
I know
that whole deal.
the back end.
Yeah,
terrible.
I mean, it's just falling apart. It's just old age. It hasn't been maintained in years.
I continue to examine her, just like simple checks, looking down her throat, ears, that kind of thing. But like,
Of course. Yeah, whatever you need me to do. Do you think whatever happened to him could happen to me?
ruling out possibilities.
That makes
You
sense.
seem okay, but I just
feel okay.
yeah, it seems like this thing may lay dormant for a bit. And of course, since you were in close proximity to him, and knowing what we know of some of these plants in the past, it's proximity based. Will take over your mind, perhaps. So just do quick checks and things. Where did you say that he went about a week ago again?
I actually don't know the specifics of it. He just said he had to go take a meeting somewhere, and he did. And he just came back not feeling so hot.
Does he keep logs of anything, or
Maybe might be
Okay.
able to find some. I don't really know. His whole he does a pretty good job of separation of his business and our relationship. So
okay?
for obviously mostly for the perspective and for the optics of everyone else, because they can't know that we're involved at all, or the whole plan kind of falls to shit. So
Right. Makes sense.
but yeah, and I guess next time I'm over back in the man, I guess we could take a look, figure it out.
You assume he was the one that destroyed or put the black powder in Azushi's mansion
No, I mean,
to get you to fall in love with Azushi?
now that you mention it, I suppose it's possible. Who knows now? I mean, I guess we'll never find out.
I'm asking this because you're the one that put the treats on the canister itself, so and then the monkey. You were fully aware of what the monkey would do
Uh,
for the most part.
Kia mentioned that might be a good idea to do.
Hmm.
But again, the machinations of his mind have always been an enigma to me, mostly. Does a good job of compartmentalizing his feelings. I think that's why. I think that's why I was thinking about leaving. But at the same time, where could I go?
I was going to ask, now that he is dead, how does the whole ward thing work?
Well, I default to the whoever he was the ward of, or whoever he powered on. So essentially, now I become the ward of the Zushi, unless someone else takes up the mantle of his station. Then I become their ward. If they would have me, they can choose not to. Or I can also be released of my own volition, should either the Zushi or the next person who appointed to his position choose to give me. Granted, it's it didn't feel like a prison as much as it has for the past month or so. Maybe that's why I'm not. Maybe it just hasn't hit me yet. Maybe that's why I'm not as. I feel like the man I knew died 2 months ago.
Right.
But anyway.
So, fun fact. I guess. Well, Tammy, you know more about this stuff. So we are all joint owners of the estate now, right? Something like that?
Essentially, yeah. We each
Sorry,
got.
what?
Yeah, so we were given. We were
Nobilized?
essentially nobilized or yeah, nobilized
Mobilized.
by the Zushi, and we were
That's a new
given
one.
the manor. And of course, you're welcome to continue to stay there as long as you want. You're welcome there as it can still be your home if you want. Of course, if you want to move on and go elsewhere.
The Zushi canonized you as nobility and put you in the station of.
Well, he's still figuring out
twisted?
exactly the name, like what the station is.
Okay. So
We
you're
did
saying that you get everything that? Wow. Okay.
We did save his manor, then him, then you, along with your manor, and
Sure,
then
I
him
mean,
again, and
the whole ward's not getting anything. It's a little.
Well, it's still you still are welcome to whatever you want there, and it's still your home.
Yeah, if you want it. Or,
Yeah.
you know, okay, let me level with you. We are very much not about, we're egalitarian, I think, for at least on our ship.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you don't want to be a ward anymore, great, don't be a ward anymore. If you want to still live there, great, fantastic. It's
Yeah.
your home, you know,
Really?
do what you want.
Of
Yeah.
course.
You would. You do the official. The movement.
The what now?
You'd make it official, like I would be then part of the I'd become Madam Flowing River. Or I'm sorry, Madam Chilly Night.
If that's what you want.
Just that work,
I've
would
never
you still...
had my own house before. I've never had my own land before. I don't know what to say.
I mean, we would still be...
It is still like we're still
Owners
gonna
with you.
own the with you.
Oh, of course, but I mean, always being told what to do, what to say, where to go.
Oh yeah, we don't have to tell you what to do. We're not gonna do that.
No, you're your own woman.
I mean, Autumn Breeze and I mostly were pretty homebodies. We stayed at home all the time unless we were, produced to show up at some sort of event or gala. Like, that's. I mean, we'd be equals. That's.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I don't know if you understand, but I grew up poor as shit. I was saved by Autumn Breeze because he had a liking for hopeless cases. He was young, I was younger. Nothing happened. It wasn't until decades later.
I'm not sure. Like, do they pay tax at all? I don't know how this works.
Look, this is a lot for me. This is a lot to think about. Do you think I could talk to the Zushi at some point and we could figure something out? Do you think he'd even speak with me?
He spoke with us, and we're pretty much nobodies. We only had the word from the Salty Mystic, or Zenkudalan.
Great. If you could put in a good word with me, I'd love to speak with him. I mean, I have a bunch of ideas. If we're gonna do this, if this is what we're gonna do, I have a bunch of ideas to make this place like a lot better than it is. I mean,
All right.
I've got some like distant cousins that fucking know their shit, but they're still living at a fucking shacks down by Portside, and they know their shit. They'll fuck 100 times smarter than who the fuck these gods were at the gala. I mean, it's absurd. That they make their living in private security, and they know their shit.
Sure. Yeah,
That's cool. I mean, I don't know if we need security. We kind of are the security. I mean,
no. I mean, like for the Zushi.
Oh yeah, he needs some new folks.
Yeah, they pick their nose a lot.
Yeah,
A lot.
they
Oh.
don't.
Hey, I mean, everybody picks their nose. Just, it's just you'll have to know the tact of doing it in public.
But like 45 minutes out of every hour they're picking their nose? Like, come on. Like, how much is up there?
That seems
my-
like an obsession. That seems
Correct.
Like yeah,
right. An obsession or a medical.
Yeah, a medical problem. Though.
Okay.
Or like,
And all of them?
that sounds like a morphic field. Like there's a whole were they brought to be like if the hand's not on the weapon, it's got to be up. Anyway,
I don't know.
so
I mean,
Instead, I feel like eating a burger.
look, I handled all of the finances and a bunch of the logistics for Autumn for years.
okay, so you were
Sorry.
taking care of the logistics for Autumn?
Yes.
For years, for a long time. So I know what I'm doing with that stuff. I also, like I said, I have a bunch of ideas for what it is that we can be fixing. But look, I might need a couple days to let this sink in.
Of course. I mean, we haven't really been in there too much, but is there at least rooms that we can stay in now, or how much disrepair is it?
We're
Oh.
currently staying with Yushi, the Zushi, just so he has guards until he replenishes them.
Yeah, there's rooms for a full staff and then some. Plenty of rooms.
Okay.
They're not all so great, but I mean, I imagine you being rough adventurers are used to less than opulent
Yeah.
settings. So,
We don't usually have roofs, so
oh well, you'll be fine. It'll be like you'll be sleeping like kings then. I mean, there's some planks and dust and stuff around, and some tattered linens, but you should be fine. Yeah, I mean, my place is all right. Yeah. Look, I know he didn't really do very much of a good impression on you, but I don't want you to remember Autumn for what you saw him as. He was, at one point, a good person. I don't know what happened to
I
him.
believe you.
I choose to remember him with the man that I fell in love with. Having said that, I'm gonna go over in the corner here and cry for about 5 hours.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, if you need me, I'll
Oh,
just
just
keep
one
crying.
small thing again with that those blossoms. I fear that while he was under the influence of them, he might have tried to spread it. Do you know, was he giving gifts of flowers or plants to anybody, or did he make any calls
I mean,
the last couple of days under the influence?
the day you showed up, he was planning on giving gifts and bouquets to the Zushi himself. But we
Right.
mostly keep to ourselves. He hasn't really said. Again, the only time
So
we
he
make
hasn't
appearances.
sent any bouquets or anything to anybody that you know of?
I'll have a better idea once I look at my records.
Okay.
But as far as memory serves, I don't know. Again, we're mostly homebodies.
Right, but you can still. I was still wondering if he sent bouquets to people from home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, again, that's gonna be something I'm gonna have to check my records because I do try to check. And granted, his records could be different than mine too.
Right.
I don't know.
Would we be able to take a look at his records?
He has been spending a lot of time in the garden though. Lately.
Yeah, makes
At least
sense.
in the past week or so.
Yeah. Would we be able to check his records? Would that be all right?
Yeah, of course, I can help you with that. But again, I'm gonna do this cry though. For about
Yeah, you go do your cry.
I'm gonna do my cry.
We'll circle back.
Yeah, you can circle back on that info. I will say he was very proud of it was like He was very happy and very proud that he was going to send his new thing that he cultured in the garden to the Zushi as, like, a token of auspicious nature, that kind of thing. Tribute. It was one of his first things as he was able to grow there that he was super, super proud of. So, if that means anything to you. Wait, so you think his garden did what happened?
Say it again.
So you think it's his garden that did what happened?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, you saw he turned into a flower. We've had a little bit of experience with this plant in the past. It's very dangerous.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go cry for about 7 hours.
Yeah.
2 extra hours. Okay.
2 extra hours. Yeah, I got a lot of trauma to work through. I'm aware of it. I'm gonna try to work through it.
Well, that's the first step, honestly. It sounds like
I'm
you.
also gonna stress eat a little bit because I gotta make sure the baby's fed. So
Sure. Don't forget to stay hydrated because you're gonna lose a lot of moisture from
yes,
tears.
yeah. She walks over to the door and flicks one of the sleigh bells, and within seconds, Gorblin shows up. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Gorblin the Goblin.
Bourbon.
Is that just like a D&D thing
Goblin.
that like it's always has to be
It's
like
Boblin the Goblin is the D&D.
right?
Mine's
Okay,
Gorblin.
that's what. Yeah.
Yeah. Gorblin shows up and he's like,
Yes, how can I help you?
"Look, we're gonna need about 10 pitchers of fresh water, a small bucket of ice, an arrangement of chocolates, cheeses, charcuterie, and I'm gonna say about a stack of 20 handkerchiefs, softest you can find. A snot bucket. Yes, the snot bucket. I understand. And we're gonna need. Well, let's bring in. How many more beds do you think we can fit in here? Bring about like 5 more beds, queen size. You can double up.
Yes, of course. I'll have them expanded and brought in for you immediately.
Great, thank you very much. So I'm gonna take this big California King here. I'm gonna just go under the covers. I'm gonna cry for 7 hours. I'll do my best to stay quiet.
Cool.
Okay. Every once in a while, if you could just like slip something out of the covers, just so I can have a snack. Great. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Phoenix is like, that was pretty fucked up. What happened?
Yes.
Listen, Pebbles and I have been talking, and I know that you know that I am working on bettering myself and doing better and not allowing this vice to define who I am. And I think the best way for me to do that might be to stay here.
Will you be okay?
I mean, only time will tell. I plan on asking Zushi for a job, maybe working for his security or something like that, and working every day with Pebbles, going to meetings, that whole thing.
Sounds like a good fit for you.
I thought so too. And I just, I know that we started this thing, and I just want to make sure that you guys understand where it is I'm coming from.
Of course, there was never an expectation that, you know, you needed to do this with us to the end or anything like that. We were happy to have you for as long as we did.
It was good to be here. She starts to cry a little bit. You guys may be weird as shit, but you're good friends.
You're a good friend too.
She gives you guys hugs. And then there's a knock on the door and just a procession of halflings and humans come in with charcuterie boards, cheeses, pitchers and pitchers and pitchers of waters. There's bed frames that they start pulling in and assembling very, very quickly right away. And in the course of like 10 minutes, there's 5 more queen beds and just a massive spread of food. And Pebbles is like, I mean, I like the Zushi's Manor, but I get used to this place.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going to take our break, guys. We'll be back in a little bit. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this episodically, head on over to the next episode. Thank you.